Day 3 at Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument, and another early start. It's about 7:45 AM today, and we are all ready to head out. Today we're doing a big driving day, so we're going to be driving the Puerto Blanco Drive, which is an unpaved but graded kind of dirt road that we're going to be following all the way from Twin Peaks Campground in a big loop. Along the way, we've got a number of different things we're going to stop for. There's a couple of hikes, there's a spring we want to see, as well as a couple of spurs, including some off-road. Really looking forward to this. I think we can get really out into the areas that a lot of people don't get to. So join us and let's have some fun. Okay, so we've reached the end of the two-way section of the road here, and we're about to reach the ungraded, unpaved section. And we've just hit a sign here that says high clearance vehicle required past this point. But this is where things should get really interesting. This road really isn't too bad. It's rough road, sure, it's loose, but there's nothing crazy so far. Our first stop on the drive today is here at the Dripping Springs Trail. This is a fairly short hike, it's only 1.4 miles round trip, but apparently it's fairly strenuous. So we're going to hike up to the spring, and then from there we can hike a little bit further up to the ridge.
This is a prickly pear cactus, and it's starting to grow new pads, and they look like tiny hands. It's so cute.
That's where we're heading, right up there into the spring and the ridge. We almost missed this, but I think actually that may be Dripping Springs. If it is, I feel misled, because it's not dripping. It's just kind of sitting there. But there is water, and I guess that counts for something.
Maybe it's the tinaja, which is natural containers of water that where rainfall kind of accumulates because it can't flow away.
Could be.
Let's continue on to the ridge.
The last section's a pretty steep climb up the rocks. We've come up a little further and we've definitely found more water here. You can see there's an actual pool of water here. But I don't really fancy walking through that. I can also hear a lot of bees. So I think we're either going to try and find an alternate route round, or this may be the end of our little hike up. I don't really feel like getting wet feet, or stung, or bitten by a snake. So yeah, not sure I want to put my feet in there. Here we go, we can see the spring better from above here. This is definitely Dripping Springs. I guess what we saw below was just a little pool of water in the rock. You can actually hear it dripping from time to time as well, so I'm guessing it is living up to the name. We're back down. We made it up to the spring, and that was, I'm pretty sure, Dripping Springs. The trail up to the ridge, though, that's evaded us. I really couldn't see where that could have gone. I guess maybe just in summer, if there's less vegetation, you can get through there. Yeah. But the sign at the bottom here mentioning the ridge is the first time we've actually seen... Oh!
Blooming cacti.
Blooming cacti. Wow. Isn't that stunning?
That's more flowers than we've seen before on one cacti.
Well, that's what's great about these hikes, isn't it? You're just walking along and then there's these bright fuchsia flowers. But as I was saying, the sign at the bottom here is the only one that we've seen that actually makes any mention of that ridge trail. Nothing we'd seen in the visitor centre or any of the leaflets or things mentioned it. But I think we can just about see where it did go, but only from down here. From here it's a fairly easy path down, back to the truck, and then we get back on the road and head down to the next hike, which is only just down the road.
Wow, this cactus is covered with blooms. I'm so excited to see this many flowers on one cactus because it's so rare to see anything bloom in a desert, and even seeing cacti bloom, that just feels so special.
Worth getting up early for?
Oh, absolutely.
We're here now at hike number 2 for the day. This time it is Dripping Springs Mine that we're going to go and visit. So we just saw Dripping Springs, and this one's going to be the mine that was named after it. This hike is pretty easy and flat according to the sign. It's about 1.4 miles each way, but there's not a lot of elevation gain, so we're looking forward to a nice gentle stroll through the mountains here. This is Diana realising she should have been wearing a hat the entire time. Much better.
I hope he doesn't think we are food.
If you look up there, you can see the ridge going across. If we had found the trail up to the ridge from the Dripping Springs, that's where we would have been standing, and we'd have been looking down at where we are now. Oh well. So I guess this is it. This is the Dripping Springs mine that we found here. And some other abandoned buildings in the area. Wasn't really sure what to expect here, to be honest, but there's a nice little trail through. One of the things we learned about the saguaro cacti, and actually some of the other cacti too, is that their kind of shape is this accordion pattern around the outside. So right now we are still a couple of months just before the monsoon period kicks in, and so they're pretty low on water inside. They're basically big water stores. And so you can see the accordion shape is really pronounced, and they're quite deep grooves, I guess, running up and down. When the monsoon rains hit and these absorb all the water, they'll actually swell. And what you'll find is the entire saguaro gets thicker, and those accordion ridges will expand to allow the entire saguaro to soak up all the water. Okay, I just noticed something poking into my foot. Looks like I've made friends with a cholla. So we don't have any pliers or anything on us. So I'm just going to try, no.
How about, what if you use this end?
Yeah, I can try it, hang on. It's reasonably painful as well. My advice is don't get a cholla stuck in you.
Yeah, wear hiking boots. Do you want me to do it? Almost there.
That went straight through the thick leather suede rubbery kind of thing on my shoe there, and it they have barbs, so they just stick in there. I don't think, no, there's nothing left in, but yeah, those things are sharp.
Wow.
We met some people back in February near Quartzsite, and something not dissimilar to this, it wasn't a cholla but something similar I think, had gone right through the tyre on their dually truck, and had actually given them a flat tyre just from driving over it, on the sidewall in fact, from a cactus. And I was like, wow, if a cactus can go through a dually truck tyre, these things are seriously sharp. And they are. Ow.
I would not recommend it to other people.
No, let's not hike and walk on cacti again. That's not going to go in my top 10 memorable positive experiences of Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. We're just finishing the Dripping Springs Trail here. It's been about a 3-mile round trip, taken us around about an hour and a half to do. The trail here, I think, it's definitely more remote compared to the other one, I think. The trail goes kind of further back into the canyon. I think for me, I actually preferred the other one. I preferred the Dripping Springs Trail itself, just because I think the scenery was more stunning. We saw more flowers and things like that.
But here earlier on this one we saw more cacti flowering.
We did see a lot of cacti flowering, yes, that's true. But no, I think both trails are good fun. And if you got the opportunity to do both, I would definitely consider doing so. We're now about 2/3 of the way around on the Puerto Blanco Drive. It's been really good fun so far, nothing too challenging, but here's where we're going to turn off. And we're going to take a right-hand turn here, and we're going to be heading up to Pozo Nuevo, which is a historical site. But unlike the route so far, which has been on unpaved but not bad road, this next section is ungraded, unpaved road. So we've been told to expect high clearance necessary. Let's see how we get on. We've driven out along the road here to Pozo Nuevo. The road said 4-wheel drive, high clearance was necessary. Honestly, it was fine. We've had good weather conditions, so maybe that's why, but we're still in 2-wheel drive, we've had no problems. I'm standing here now at Quitobaquito, right in the southwest corner of Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. And it has to be one of the strangest places in the monument here, because not only is this a pond behind me that you can see, it contains an endangered fish that's found almost nowhere else. In fact, this is the only place in the US for this fish. And then that road that you may be able to hear behind me, behind that hedge as well, that's actually Highway 2 in Mexico. We're right on the international border between the US and Mexico here. This is our last stop on our drive today. We're here at Senita Basin. Senita Basin is named after the Senita Cactus. Now, although these cacti are found throughout Mexico, there's only a few hundred of them in the US, and they're all around here in pockets in Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. They look really similar to the Organ Pipe Cactus, but they are actually different, and they have fewer pleats in their arms, which is how you can kind of notice them. So we've seen quite a few on the way up, and we're looking forward to seeing a few more.
This was the third and final day at Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. And it's also our final unit in southern Arizona, which concludes season 1 of Adventurous Way.
Make sure if you like this video, you hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already so you don't miss future episodes.